The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show would like to acknowledge the traditional land owners and the leaders past, present and emerging of Ngunnawal, Ngambri and Darawal countries where we are working from today. This always was, and always will be, Aboriginal land.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Manjot, myth, legend.
Who thinks they're going first this week, by the way? Hands up.
It's Talor.
Oh, you're wrong. It's you, Manjot.
Yeah, I thought so. Oh, okay. Man, that is just a load of information. Lot of dumping right there, man. Yes, you gotta go for them early and then trade them. I was feeling that sort of vibe from Talor. Talor nailed, I reckon. Yeah, as someone who's living the pain of the Jimmy G experience still, just trade that man, please.
I just realised he, basically had hamstrings made of tissue. That was great.
A lot like mine.
Anyway, back to Manjot.
How about me with my Peyton Manning jersey that I got for Christmas last year?
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
It's an upgrade, but he's not going to be so elite.
In the beginning there was nothing, a featureless void. From the formless primordial state, a legend was born when forces combined to create a solid object of significant value. As planets were formed and Earth itself was shaped, the object lay awaiting its destiny. Seas rise and fall, mountains emerge, and upon the highest mountain, an intrepid adventurer happens upon the object. A worthy prize for ascending this to the tallest of peaks. This object has been documented to be held by many of the great dynasties of mankind, from the Persians to the Hans, the Mongols and the Ottomans, lives lost defending it from those who seek to possess it. Now it is in the trust of three wise men who also reach such pinnacles, to be held by he who imparts the most astute knowledge upon fellow mankind. The winner of the annual Aussie NFL Fantasy Show Starts of the Week.
Hey, been a while, isn't it? Yeah.
Speaking of.
Speaking
I
of.
can't fucking say shit. Hang on. Dang it.
And we're only up
I've got
a FIFA.
There he is. Oh, shit. He actually
He's got the trophy.
Yeah, you can barely
Shit.
see it for fucking
badass
but
lighting, but
We've got to
Oh,
throw up a
right.
scoreboard here too, because Talor has, and we didn't mention it to him before last week because we knew he'd just give us a bunch of shit about it, but he actually had enough points and enough wins to have sealed it last week. But then he just only goes out and wins the segment again by a fucking bee's dick.
I'm actually I'll refute that. Technically you can still win. If every single week you got 3 and I got 1, you could still technically win.
There is 3 weeks of the season to go. Your lead is huge.
Oh, I thought we were doing the whole season, not just the fantasy season.
Well, I mean, we could get going through the fantasy playoffs if you want. I mean, how much do you want to kill us by?
Up to you, mate.
If no other segment ever survives, we'd have to keep doing this segment because it is the most loved on the island. It is people vote with their ears about this segment. And,
I'll be back
I'm really
in the
grateful.
NFL playoffs, I think. Yeah. We got to keep it going every week, Matty.
Oh,
What are you
and
talking about?
NFL
Come on, man.
playoffs. How much fun was that doing that game last year? Because you could pick from
Yeah.
anyone.
That was awesome.
It wasn't just
Yeah,
from.
that was good.
How
Because
good
that
was it?
really mattered about like the order and stuff. Because
That was so much.
picking anyone.
That was me, like, in my initiation of this play show. Come on, man.
Yeah,
I had too much fun.
and you survived it, and that's why you're still here and on like a 200 game streak.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been on this show more than you two this year.
Yeah,
Yep,
So-
absolutely.
this show really only
Crazy.
started in March, but yeah, you just date it back to Manjot's first appearance in the streak. We were still the Astro League podcast way back then. And mate, how we
Yeah.
have grown. They grew up
Yeah,
so
I
fast.
forced that name change. Yeah, I forced that name change out there.
Yeah. It was the right thing to
Yeah.
do. And it was the time. Once we got this band together, we realized it was going to be a really good combination of good brains and mainly Manjot and I dumping on Talor and then Talor winning everything and throwing it back in our faces. Then we realized we were onto something.
Yeah, perfect. That's a perfect formula for a great show. Yeah.
It is, right? It is. And, it's hard to gang up on someone who's winning. But one day, Talor, one day, one of us will have some
Man,
success.
speaking of
I'll
winning,
get my comeuppance.
last week was hard, man.
About as
Last
close
week
as
was,
it gets.
that's
Yeah.
the closest. Come on, man. I need 4 more yards from someone. Come on.
Tighter
Oh.
than ever.
That's tight end a tight end. God damn.
Essentially, that's a passing yard was the difference between
Yeah,
Taylor winning
passing out.
and having a draw. Because check out these lineups, right? Taylor, mate, I actually really felt pretty good about my lineup before the week, and then when Kadarius Toney was out, and Manjot had the same thing. He was missing. Gus Edwards didn't end up going. But I thought to myself, God, you guys are mad leaving me with, Darrell Henderson. Okay, whatever. He's in a total timeshare. But Jimmy playing against the awful, awful Cardinals. Tony, who was just the only wide receiver left in Kansas City until he wasn't even there. And Higbee, after they just lost Cup, I'm like, you guys are mad for letting me have this team. Yeah, well, if it wasn't for Jimmy putting up 25, my team was sitting on 9 points going into Monday Night
world
Football.
record. You're staring down the world record.
And I thought it was the other way.
One of your players on the streets at the moment.
Yeah, and one of them, lost his job since then. So
yeah, fucking Henderson's on the streets.
Yeah, Matty can pick him.
Got thrown out.
Another one of my favorites, Melvin Gordon, who was one of my buy lows a few weeks ago. Nah, it turns out that was the time to sell him high because he also doesn't have a job. I am crushing this analysis thing. But man, your team with Mariota somehow goes out and throws. You had 17.74 points in your win a week ago. This week, he throws up 17.74 points in your second place spot. I just can't believe he scored the same twice. And then Mooney had a nice day out to get a touchdown, but didn't have a lot of yards, which was a bit disappointing. And Knox. 14 points. Leads all tight ends. Very nice.
Yes, sir.
But Tay, talk to us about your team from last week. The Russ Burger, obviously a great start there.
Fucking Russ. We can't talk about that anymore.
No. But the star of your side, it happened on Thursday night.
You're on the wrong.
Killing us on Thursday Night Football.
That was my 4th round pick.
Yeah.
You're wait. You're on the wrong podcast, by the way. If you're not talking about Ross, you gotta join Good Egg Gridiron at this point because we banned. Yeah, we banned.
By the way, we're gonna have to put my rant up from 4 or 5 months ago about Russ because I may have got a few things wrong in the preseason this year, but fuck me, I nailed that.
I like to see that we're like, are you fucking serious? And then Tay slowly kind of walks some of it back to be like, well, I'm not saying he's a total dirtbag. Mate, if I was in your shoes, I would be saying, no, I totally always said he was a dirtbag. And I'd be getting me to drag up the parts where you said he was a dirtbag. So I'm going to do it because I love you, brother.
Thank you.
You wouldn't know it from listening to 200 episodes of this show, but I really do.
We take our shots.
Me too.
All right. Well, I've done the Manjot and haven't sent out the order here. So
yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah, I was like, where's the order at? I at least last week I sent it out like an hour.
He's a gentleman. I mean, come on.
I actually, he can't even accuse me this time.
No, definitely can't. I've put myself first like nearly every single time I've done it. I'm not gonna do that this time. I'm gonna put myself second. I'm gonna sandwich myself between you fine gentlemen. I'm gonna give the first pick to one Matthew Connor.
I thought so.
I knew he was off. And
was that right? Like
Manjot the turn.
I knew he was
gonna the arsehole end.
I knew he was gonna do that.
It's because I have not really invested well in the first overall pick whenever I've had it. I think that's what it is. He's like, he doesn't hurt me much. I'm pretty much getting the first pick a pick late.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I wasn't expecting to get this opportunity, so now I don't know what to do because half of the guys who I liked turned up in your Dr. Good call too, and now I'm like, you know how I hate to take guys from your Dr. Good call?
The world's at your feet. There's nothing more scary than the blank slate.
Well, because
take anything.
I've got a slam dunk I want to take, but it's a Dr. Good call, and I'm like, do I just do it?
I know who it is.
Yeah, I do too.
It's this awkward silence. I know it's
everyone in the room knows that I want to take Jeff Wilson Jr.
Yeah, I knew it. My boy, I was going to say.
Everyone knows. So he's now up to 38% owned, but I think it's a low number. I think he's only that low because they're coming off the bye, and maybe there might be worlds where he's been dropped, and that number's going
I'll
to
be honest,
inflate.
I took a risk. I definitely was never going to put Manjot in front of me because I knew he'd take him. I was like, maybe Matty won't take him, but I might, stop it. I'll take a risk. Who cares? I can't lose.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
take.
really want
El
to take
Jefe,
him.
man. I want to take El Jefe, bro. You can take him, Matty. Come on, I would have taken him.
I've done it once where I went, "Fuck you, Taylor. I'm taking Alan Lazard," and he bit me on a soft entry point, and
Come on, Matty.
this not taking players that Taylor's got in Dr. Good Call has clearly worked for me because I'm not winning this segment. So maybe I should just do it. Okay, I'm going to do it. Done. Jeff Wilson Jr.
Jeff Wilson Jr.
Locked in. Matty's first pick. So now it's to Taylor.
All right. Well, I'm going to go Jimmy G because I hate my list of quarterbacks. I'm really not confident in quarterback at all. So that's kind of why I was like, I'll go second as well. Because if you take Jeff, Jimmy G is probably my pivot. Because the other two on my list, I'm just not really that confident at all. Just more of a matchup play. So I'm going to take Jimmy G and hope everyone just yaks their way to an awesome game again.
Man, I was gonna sing Jimmy Cooks by Drake and take Jimmy G at third. I was so ready. to do it. Damn it.
Just hating life on the term of just taking a former 49er and a 49er right in front of him.
Yeah. My boy.
So Ross Dwelly is going to be his pick, I think.
Yeah, it's got it. No, Kittle. Because isn't it just like Kelsey's band? That's it.
Yeah.
Kelsey and Andrews. So it's Kittle.
That's it. They're the only ones who are banned. And Dalton Schultz.
Yeah. All right.
The Schultz line.
The Schultz line. Yeah. Okay. Look. Dang, it's a tough one. It's tough. Because now, like, my two plans got thrown away. Oh, boy. Look. I'm going to go running back. Oh, boy. Running back. Yeah. I'm going to go running back. Just look at my list of players. I'm going to go Devin Singletary. Is he allowed?
Yeah, he's third on my list.
Yeah, I'm going
I think
Devin.
he probably is.
Yeah, I'm going to check his stats. I'm going to check like
He's
his
been surprisingly good this year, honestly. He's another guy too.
because he had a good game last week, though.
Like,
That's the
I
thing.
own no shares of him across 12 leagues, so maybe I'm not the best person to give the green light to that. Just because I don't own him.
All right, he's 91% rostered and 74% started.
Ooh, 74.
Is that too high?
Maybe it is. I don't know. Well, I just don't feel like he's just this awesome guaranteed start every week. But it's up to you guys. Like I'm normally pretty easygoing, and
3/4 of people disagree. That's the problem. Like, okay, so I always work on this on percentage of start, and the other guys on my list. So Jeff Wilson was 38, coming off a bye, so maybe that's an under-indexing number. But the other guys were 37 and 22%.
So the reason I would say yes
Yeah.
is because to me, if I was doing a ranking this week, I would have Jeff Wilson in front of Devin Singletary.
Yeah.
So I just don't. I feel like
Done.
Jeff's more of a guaranteed like play this week than Devin Singletary is. So I just kind of.
That is an excellent argument, and I will back the fuck up.
Yeah. So Devin's allowed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he is.
I just don't want him to take Jeff off me now.
Yeah, I think. Look, for me,
exactly. Just don't take Jeff.
Yeah, for me, it was a tough choice. You know, Devin and another guy. I think Taylor might take him later. Let me be
I've got a
honest.
pretty random one. Yeah. So he's been horrendous in the last few weeks. I don't think anyone's going to say there's an issue with it.
Okay.
Oh boy, this is.
And now you don't need to pick him until last round.
I just
yeah,
I just need to search up like the starter percentages. All right. Oh, this one's going to be a hard, like,
You're trying to sell us one now.
Yeah, this might, like, it's not going to be like trash as in like it's too high a percentage. Like, he's a 29% start, but I'm going to go with Joshua Palmer at wide receiver. And I know this is going to be like, wait, they got Keenan Allen back. Wait, Mike Williams is back. But I think Joshua Palmer, he still did pretty well last week, despite Keenan Allen coming back. Yeah, he was amazing. And I think, Look, I'm going to take my chance on Joshua Palmer to repeat that. They're playing against Arizona, who we all know what happened to them on Monday Night Football in Mexico City. Yeah, we're not going to go through that again, are we, Matty? But look.
No. But
Yeah,
the wide receiver 2, 8, as well as the tight end. Like, no worries. No worries. It's smart analysis.
I'm going with it. I think Palmer with this matchup and the way he played last week with Keenan Allen coming back. Oh man, I'm going with it, man. I'm riding this one.
No
Palmer
argument from me, mate. No argument from me.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, Jesus.
I wonder what he's thinking.
AIDS again.
This is the quietest segment.
All right. So, knock, knock. Who's there? Dawson Knox with his
I should have done it. I should have taken it away.
I love that.
He's behind me of 2 picks. He hasn't picked a tight end yet. I just know his huge raging clue for Dawson Knox. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just take him here.
Yeah. If he got back to me, there'd be like a boom sound underneath the table.
Exactly. The table's been pinging.
Yeah, there's like doof.
Yeah, big Cox Knox.
29th against tight end against
like,
Lions.
I need to see your hands. I need to see your hands.
Play anyone against the Lions, people.
Yeah, agreed. Sorry. The analysis is terrific. Like the Lions, if you're playing the Lions, if you've got a name and a birthday, you're probably scoring points. That's all
What's
it's
weird
saying.
is, right, I'll say one thing. Although we did just work out they're the 5th defense in fantasy in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
They've actually weirdly all of a sudden been okay against the run. I know that probably doesn't bode well for Devin Singletary, but they've actually gone from 31st because I always used to target them, and now they're 21st. They've actually, for some reason, locked it up. They just gave Saquon less than 2 yards a carry. So I don't know exactly what's happening there. It's probably a bit of an anomaly, but
mate, they are also leading games, so people aren't running in the fourth quarter on them as much.
Exactly. So that obviously changes things as well.
Yeah. How about that? Well, the good thing is you haven't taken any of the tight ends that I sort of saw as the clear next run, but I would have loved Knox. And I'm just going to jump straight across to take Njoku against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they can't stop shit. And Brissett loves him.
For some reason, put Njoku first on my list, even though I normally always put the Dr. Good call on the top. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, I had Njoku on my list too, obviously.
Yeah. And of course, Hayden Hurst third because that's the rule.
He's third too. That's my exact list.
You're
Njoku,
fucking kidding.
Oh, boy. So I'm going to take one Njoku.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've got Njoku. That'll do. And then I'm going to look at what do I do here? Wide receiver.
Yeah, no one's taken that yet.
Okay. Josh Palmer's gone.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Look at the quarterbacks. I'm just going to take Trevor.
Nice.
I don't think that needs much explaining because, he's in that 12 to 15 range all the time. He's iffy. Yeah. But you know what? Against Baltimore, it's not the running game. That's, they're not going to... The running game doesn't affect Trevor's scoring. It's the secondary you want to pick on. They've really firmed up their linebackers and their defensive line's always been pretty good. So the way to attack Baltimore is to pass. Trevor's at home as well, which I think is a big help. I'm just going to take Trevor. That's my turn. Njoku and Trevor. Sexy stuff, isn't it? Sexy.
I'm going to go to wide receiver, obviously, because I still don't need a running back. I'm going to go away from Dr. Good Call here this time. I've got a couple of other ones underneath that are interesting, and one's just a guy that just, for some reason, is just putting up one of the most consistent wide receiver seasons I've seen without really breaking through at all. And the other one is the awful Talor, Paris Campbell, up against the Steelers of a last wide receiver.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take him. I just think he's actually been really weirdly good this year, and Matt Ryan seems to really like going to him. Yeah. And again, the matchup's perfect up against the worst defense, and I don't think he's going to get guys like Minka, and I think you got Watt back for the Steelers. I actually think dump offs to shorter yardage guys like Paris Campbell is actually going to be more relevant than like your Michael Pittmans and Alec Pierces and stuff in this game. So I don't think they're going to have a huge amount of time with Watt there. So I actually think Paris Campbell could actually be the best receiver out of those three in this game.
I mean, he was on my list too. He's only 26% started. I was kind of thought, yeah, look, you could do worse. But there's two other guys who I just sort of thought, well, I'll just wait for someone else to make the choice. So then once I am back around, at least that will firm that up for me. Because they're not terrific this week. Wide receivers on waivers this week aren't great. So I was just kind of happy to get whoever's left.
Makes sense.
Manjot's going to wrap this thing up. He needs tight end and quarterback. He's researched really hard for this segment.
Yeah, it's tough. Look, it's because I don't know about one. I'm trying to get news about Gerald Everett playing.
Yeah,
but
we're desperate for him to play in the Western Wankers team, by the way. Desperate.
And he's playing against Arizona, which is a good matchup.
Such a good matchup.
That is Thanksgiving dinner right there.
Yeah, man. Oh,
what
boy.
you should do is take Everett, but then have the side of if he doesn't play, you take Trey McKitty or something.
Yeah.
He'd be the tight end that steps in for him.
Yeah, wait. All right. Whoa.
I like that there's a player getting around the league called McKitty as well. I mean, can I just tell you how much I love that?
Yeah, that's nice.
When I first saw him, I'm like,
that's nice.
That name's made up. No, turns out it's not.
Yeah.
That name's made up.
Yeah, as if it isn't. As if that's not his nickname from college. No, it turns out it's not a Debo. No, it's actually his name.
Yeah. But who are the tight ends I'm not allowed to take? Like,
Titans
as in
they're playing the Bengals.
Yeah.
Well, no, who are the tight ends I'm not allowed to take? Yeah. So you
could do both. Have a Titans tight end and just take Austin Hooper.
Yeah. True.
So both.
True. Look, all right, I'm gonna take Gerald Everett, but I'm not allowed an insurance policy. That's the problem, right? So
well, can I also sort of just because I love you, you've got Josh Palmer in the same offense and there's only one ball.
Oh yeah, true.
That's
true.
all. That's all.
Yeah.
The stack.
I want to look. All right. Wait. Foster Moreau, he's still there. I'll take Foster then.
Yeah.
He's playing against Seahawks,
back.
second team in tight end. Yeah, thanks to remind me.
I
And
got your
how
back,
about
brother.
I stacked it up? How about I stacked up and take Derek Carr?
Here we
You're
go.
the best. Love that.
I'm gonna. Yeah,
Love
gotta
that.
be honest. Yeah, I'm going with it. Yeah.
I had
loco.
Derek Carr written down, then I booted him for Ryan Tannehill. You can see why I didn't love my list.
Woof. Yeah, tough, isn't it? Once you get past Jimmy. So you need a running back.
Yep, and I'm going to take someone who had 3 yards last week. 3. Actually, it might have been 1. Actually, I have to check that. I can't remember.
Which of my running backs is this? Because this is from my team, right? My team was dog nuts last week.
It's from the Wankers.
Yeah, see?
Robinson.
Yeah, the boys.
Robinson, yeah.
So, I just think last week against that Pats team, they just didn't run the ball at all because they were like, well, this team doesn't give up anything on the ground in the Pats. So I don't know what the hell they were doing on offense.
No one was doing anything.
They were going
on
2
offense.
inches of play, apparently. And, apparently 2 inches isn't enough for anyone these days. But anyway, I digress. Must have been really cold.
Back in the old days, it was enough, mate.
Yeah, that's it.
Back in my day. Cold fogey Matty here.
Oh man, I just think Robinson's going to get a better matchup here against the Bears. They're 27th against running back. I think they are actually going to run the ball a lot more. I think they'll probably lead. I don't know what Justin Fields' status is. If they have to play back up, their offense is going to be horrendous. And I just think it's going to be more of a running game situation for the Jets. So you'll obviously see a fair bit of Michael Carter too, but I think in a good game script, you're going to see a lot more of Robinson. But I think he'll take more of the rushing work than Carter. Carter's more of the passing down guy. So I think this could be actually a game where Robinson gets back on track and you actually see more of the Jag style Robinson that you haven't seen at the Jets yet.
Yeah. Do you remember when we were so glad he got traded to somewhere where he could play and it wasn't like splitting with ETN? Do you remember those days, the halcyon days of feeling excited and high-fiving and hugging in the hallway because James Robinson was freed from the ETN Express? And fuck, hasn't that gone well?
Yeah, it's been dog shit. I've got him in Dynasty too, and I can't even play him.
Hasn't been that good either. I'm thinking now's the time to trade for him. Like now's the time to go. In Dynasty, you can pretty much trade all year, so now would be the time to go and just throw a low pick at someone for it. Anyway.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a shot in the dark. Like obviously he wouldn't have fit this criteria like 5 or 6 weeks ago, but he's since he's gone to the Jets, he's just been deplorable, really, like unplayable. So I'm just taking my shot that it turns around this week. I'm taking my shot on a different games group.
Art is bolder than fuck, and I applaud you, golf clap style. I applaud that. That is some.
Matty, can't lose anyway, mate. Can't lose.
Some solid play, mate. I'm going to wrap it up by needing a wide receiver, and I don't know. Only because it's against Minnesota indoors. I'm going to take Jacoby Myers. He's started in about half the leagues, getting around. I don't know how much faith anyone can have in a Patriots pass catcher, but you know, I figured he's about as good as it gets.
Another one in my Megla Bowl team. I have the worst set of wide receivers though you've ever seen in that league.
You fucking must.
I'm the only I'm like the only. That's like the only team in the world that's had the whole Keenan Allen situation actually be a positive for the team. Somehow, I've had to like deal with the ins and outs of Keenan Allen all year, and I've basically been trotting out Jacoby Myers, Curtis Samuel, and I think I had DeAndre Carter for a while because of the fact that there was no Keenan Allen. Like that's literally my receiving core in that league, and sometimes I'm 15-7.
Wow. And that's because you get wins for winning your matchup, but you also, beat the league average gets your point, yeah?
You're batting the league average, yes. And I had 4 weeks in a row where I missed the average by less than a point, and I'm still 15.
Yeah.
That's absurd. And those wide receivers, by the way, are just fantastic.
It's unbelievable. I finally can play Keenan Allen this week. I hope. I touch wood for what's happening in training, but I think it's Allen, Samuel. I do have Juju too, who hasn't been too bad. He's had
he had been great for a few weeks there and really got his stride, and then got his head ripped off. That was a tough watch, really tough watch. So I hope he's back soon, because you just never know what a hit like that's going to do to a guy. And honestly, I know we give him a little bit of shit, but actually Juju's kind of one of the more fun players in the league in terms of just his character outside of being in a helmet and on the field. He's actually kind of fun too. So, you don't want to see a character of the game who's just in honest, good spirits ever come to harm like that. So,
man, he feels like me sometimes. I used to play Fortnite. Now, we run it up on TikTok with Aussie NFL Fantasy. Am I right?
Am I right? You're right, brother.
Segue, isn't it? It's meant to be a segue.
Yeah, it is. Because we're wrapping up. We got to wrap it up. I want to quickly recap the teams, though. Yeah? Do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Manjot, you came in third, and you had Devin Singletary with your first pick, Josh Palmer with your second, and then the stack of Foster Moreau and Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Come on, get that Raiders stack that bitch up.
The Raiders.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
that
Chris
extra
Berman.
0.04 this week, Manjot.
Yeah, you too. Mate, I couldn't get a credit card between you two last week. That's like that result was tighter than George Michael's pants. Like that was tight.
Oh.
Jimmy Manjot's too young to know George Michael, probably.
Oh no, I've heard his songs. Don't worry.
Okay, well, YouTube him, and then you'll get what I mean about the pants.
Okay.
Taylor's got my girlfriend Jimmy G after last week. Get her up here. I want to buff her. Especially the female Jimmy G. Jesus, she was a bit of all right.
Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah, mate. Just water for that one.
We're going in some weird territory.
Are they going to do a tight end version of that? Because that'd be fantastic.
I don't know. That's kind of they've done the coaches now. They're going to do.
I don't think they're
everyone.
going to go tight end. Can you imagine Mrs. Knox? Like, Jesus, because she's your second. And you know how much I'm in love with Dawson Knox, but imagine Deirdre Knox. Like, yeah, no.
Tree tops.
Knocks your socks off. The awful Tower, Paris Campbell, and J Rob, a third of a point last week. Fantastic. So I'm looking forward to seeing how your team goes because no matter what you've trotted out there, you've just battered us around like a kitten with a ball of yarn.
Yeah, how is he going to beat us this week?
Fucking disgraceful.
Something will happen.
He's
Somehow,
got twice
some
as
way.
many wins as you and I combined, Manjot. It is fucking disgusting. It truly is.
Yeah, he's
And my
going by
team-
0.01 against you this week.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Got to beat the record.
My team of everyday heroes includes Jeff Wilson Jr. as my first pick, completely stolen from Dr. Goodcall, and I'm fine with it. Of course, David Njoku is my tight end. My boyfriend Trevor Sunshine Lawrence and Jacoby Myers is having a go because I dislike myself enough to ride the Patriots wide receiver roller coaster. You find us everywhere through our link tree at Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. You can find Talor everywhere because he's like a tree. He's enormous, and he'll come over and say good day, and he'll give you all of his takes. If you find Talor, ask him for some takes. Of course, you'll find Manjot.
You'll get him whether you want him or not.
100%. Hit me with your links, Manjot, through Pastry Press and whatnot.
Yeah, Page Press NFL is it's available on Instagram. There's a Facebook page that's just a carbon copy of the Instagram, but no one follows that. So just look at the Instagram.
Look at Instagram.
Yeah, there's obviously MN live streaming, YouTube, but ACD Gridiron Games. There's Good Egg Gridiron, my other podcast that I keep mentioning. That podcast, you gotta listen, especially if you don't want to hear about the Denver Broncos every week, because let's face it, who the fuck wants to hear about that team anymore? Yeah, so look, Good Egg Gridiron, like anti-Broncos analysis, but of course, we have Aussie NFL Fantasy TikTok. We're running that up again. All of us boys. I managed to sign the boys on a few deals. They have to do one TikTok a day, otherwise they're gonna face some lengthy jail time. The public defender has put there. Taylor's gonna start from tomorrow. Matty, get onto there tomorrow. Manjot, get onto there tomorrow too. Yeah.
Yeah, since you're the one laying around doing nothing, come on.
Yeah, I've got to be doing something.
You'll see me in the beer van again.
Yes.
Let's go.
It's back.
Oh man, I feel like I'm in Qatar right now. I'm cramping up so much.
Yeah. Those second halves, man. 26 minutes of injury time from guys just falling over. I know we're up against the kickoff between a couple of teams in the World Cup too, and Manjot really wants to get out of here. And I'm going to wrap it up quickly by saying hit the link tree because they're all there. Our merchandise store as well. Aussie NFL Fantasy is at TeePublic, but you can also get the link through there. And of course, our mate Marky Mark and the No Huddle Dynasty podcast.
Of course.
Got another episode coming out real soon. I'm looking forward to getting that one up on our channels as well, but you can actually find it on his already. And he's going to have a slot up on our YouTube channel as well. I think that covers it, doesn't it, guys?
Yeah.
And I was just going to say the good thing about Mark even mentioned in our chat that when we sort of start to finish up with our fantasy season, and obviously we'll do some stuff with the real life NFL playoffs as well, but it actually becomes his time a lot with Dynasty. Like the off season actually is his time to shine. Really, there's a huge time
200%.
for Dynasty with the draft coming up and everything, and he gets a good chance to have a look at all the college prospects and everything like that. So that's actually an awesome time for us to sort of settle down, and then it really becomes more about Marky ramps up a bit. So that'll be awesome to hear what content he brings out, because Dynasty is such a growing thing that everyone's playing these days. So just everyone watch out for it because he's got awesome analysis.
Yeah, we're 52 week a year. So
every week, every episode that goes through Mark's channel also comes through ours. A couple of days delay just to give him the red hot chance to get people through his channel, but then it pops up here as well and through our YouTube as well. So the good thing is you don't have to hunt too hard to find him. And his show is really getting some traction. He's right up there in popularity with our Starts of the Week segment, and he's been running the show for 5 or 6 episodes. The reception has been fantastic, and we thank everyone for supporting him as much as they support us.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Absolutely.
Natural at this game.
Now, fellas, I haven't been brushing up on my Spanish. Have we got any other words before we get out of here for our
Don't forget
Spanish language?
It's adios. Right.
What a pack
yeah,
of chuckleheads we had to look that up. What's the matter with us?
Wait up, let me pull up what Kittle said. Wait. I didn't find what Kittle said yesterday in Spanish. Oh, I just gotta get this straight off the Instagram.
I've been reading Bad Guys to my son, and there's a fish on there that always says Chicos and Hermanos. So I don't know.
So that's girls and boys.
That's it.
Girls and boys.
Okay, on behalf of the Niners, gracias Mexico, buenas vibras toda la noche, sentimos todo su amo, Victoria Niners. And then it's gracias thank you Mexico, good vibes all night. We feel all your love. Victory 49ers. Let's go.
Got it. Okay, cool. There we go. I was wondering who that Victoria bird in there was for a minute. I'm like, wow, he's been busy. Anyhow, we're going to get out of here. Adios. In fact, maybe it'll be Guten Tag, because I think a few of us have to go watch the Germany game.
Yeah, go Germans. Go to Germans.
Yeah. Have a cracking week, everyone. Go get them in week 12 from us and amongst you boys too. Go tear it up in week 12, eh?
Let's go.
Let's go Tua.
Let's go Tua. Adios.
Adios. This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
I gave him a spray because he started horrendous with the Atlanta Carolina game, and I had breaking news that I had sacked Mark Downey as the general manager.
I actually kind of feel like celebrating my own success a little bit there.
Aussie.
Give me that trophy soon. Let's go. I'm coming back.
And Manjot, I feel like I should go head to head with you in the foreign game.
NFL.
Yeah.
So Manjot's 2-0 when Mark's on the pod. What would happen if Mark did Manjot's team? That's going to set a record.
Fantasy.
He might not know the rules of the segment. Sometimes we do explain it to him, but then
we don't know the rules of the segment sometimes, mate.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
And a team that early on looked like it was just going to eat rubber and come last and be in the corner picking its nose with the dunce hat on